Hello everybody, I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films and kind of ponder and think about them. That film was from 1912, which predates 16mm. It was a short made by D.W. Griffith called Man's Genesis, but it was printed and I think distributed by Blackhawk, or one of many other kind of home film distributors. D.W. Griffith, say what you will about him. I think he created the cat video. We transferred some of his home movies on behalf of an archive and discovered that more than half of one of the reels was just footage of a bunch of kittens playing in a basket. So he was compelled by it, just like many of us are. So cat videos existed before the internet. All right, so behind me I have a film scanner set up, and we have a film made by the U.S. Air Force about the ROTC program. Enjoy. Hold on.
You do a lot of fun things in ROTC.
Also, you have the benefits of scholarships.
A lot of field trips. We're gonna go on an airplane soon.
Students, they treat us, like they treat anybody else.
I really love the drill team. I got in because I wanted to learn the meaning of leadership. In ROTC, you have a sense of belonging, you have a sense of pride, and you have a sense of spirit.
Today's students, tomorrow's leaders. The story of Air Force Junior ROTC. Every high school ROTC program has a senior aerospace science instructor who has served at least 20 years on Air Force active duty. Lieutenant Colonel Bob Lease holds that position at Mater Dei High School.
Those of you that are starting out here, I think can look ahead to the senior class and see quite a rapport, a friendship, and it's been their activity at this school for 4 years. And they're greatly involved, and they have got lifelong friendships. As an ROTC instructor, most of my students I have for a full 4 years. And so by the time I've had a student for 3 or 4 years, I know them well, usually know their family, know their goals, and so I get into a considerable amount of counseling and help along their problem areas, their interests, and their college plans.
I've always wanted to do something for our country, and I feel ROTC is just one step in the right direction.
Vivian Marr is principal of Moreno Valley High School. Their program is one of the country's most successful. She describes her feelings about having Air Force Junior ROTC at their school.
In one single word, I would say having great pride in this particular unit. They have brought great honor to our community and to our school. We win awards in drill team contests. Our students are recognized in the community as academic leaders. They're recognized for their musical ability. They're recognized for their athletic ability. They're wholesome Americans, and we're very, very proud of them.
Our kids are known as being leaders, and yet at the same time they're very active, they're very aggressive, and they're able to hold their own in most any situation.
Holding their own, they do. And every cadet is issued a uniform, too.
The Air Force buys the uniforms totally, provides them, issues them, gives a alteration amount to the different units to keep the uniforms fitting well and looking well. Shoes are theirs to keep forever, and items as they outgrow are replaced and refitted as they progress up to 4 years in ROTC. While the younger high school students are putting on a uniform for the first day, they're a little nervous about it. It goes quickly, and it doesn't take too long to where the kids are wanting to wear the uniforms when we need them to save them for the next required day.
They come from all areas of our community, all socioeconomic areas. There are those who are extremely bright. They have interest in pursuing college. Some of them are looking forward to a career in the military.
Junior ROTC cadets are regular members of their own class. They wear their uniforms once a week and attend regular classes along with everyone else.
We have our quiz that you've been told about. We didn't have one last week, so we will be covering what's been going on in the paper and major news items. I'm going to pass out your decisions, give you the group you're in, and let you start considering what you would do if perhaps you were placed in that situation. You can take out your paper now. Okay, everybody set? Number 1A. It is the contention
The academics program basically are provided and directed by the Air Force ROTC program. There's a good deal about the Air Force, but there's an awful lot more maybe about aviation in general, about all the way from weather, navigation, to some of the defense of the United States, some history of flying, and it covers quite a myriad of aerospace in general. We generally will spend 60% of the time in the classroom atmosphere in some way, shape, or form academics. Workbooks, some sort of reading, guest lectures.
Floyd! 10 hut, report.
Sir, first down reports all cadets present accounted for, sir.
Sir, second on reports all cadets present accounted for, sir.
Sir, all cadets present accounted for, sir.
Today we're going to continue our discussion of man's flight to the moon. The President's decision to...
The academic program is designed along a 4-year curriculum, with each of the 4 years providing a different subject. In senior high schools, the program can be completed in 3 years.
They would teach us about the principles of flight and what makes an airplane fly.
When you talk about airplanes or something, they're shocked because they don't learn about it. And so they say, you guys learn how airplanes fly and stuff? I go, yeah, we're kind of learning about that.
Show me direct orbit rendezvous first. Bailey?
The direct orbit, did it take off from the Earth and make a straight flight all the way to the moon?
Very good. Yeah, that's exactly what it did. The second method, someone come up and diagram this. Show me how that worked. Yes, Taylor.
Frequently, classes also combine aerospace academics and extracurricular activities.
The last rocket launch we had, there were about 35, 40 people. It was very successful. We enjoyed ourselves and encourage some of you that haven't done it before to do it. So to cover some of the safety items today, I'd like to introduce Jeanette McGorry, who will come up and cover a point or two with you.
Thank you, Colonel. A lot of people in our rocket club do use flammable stuff, and so you have to be kind of careful about that. There's a lot of safety involved with rockets. If you have a misfire, like if the rocket doesn't go off for some reason, you have to wait 30 seconds before you go up and check it. Also, there can't be any telephone wires or anything because rocket can get caught on that. You have to, like...
Besides learning about flying and flight, junior ROTC members study rocket and model building, and many units have rocket clubs, too.
Yeah, might as well get it. Next to that. Look it up and let's see if you got a light.
Time to get 5.
Yeah, you're down 5. Check 5.
4. Not a light.
Check the light. Okay.
Continuity.
Continuity. Got everything ready.
Get a bigger rock. Release the launch pad with it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
One of the most outstanding things that a student can gain is an appointment to the U.S. Air Force Academy. Presently, we have 5 of our graduating cadets who are enrolled at the United States Air Force Academy and doing very well.
Dear Kenneth, I'm pleased to advise you you've received a nomination to the United States Air Force Academy. From these nominations, the final appointments are made by the Academy. So we thank you. It's a big step.
There are others who are able to secure ROTC scholarships and go on to 4-year universities and colleges throughout the United States and have their education paid for through these scholarships.
On behalf of all the staff and the 2,240 students at Moreno Valley High School, I'm most pleased to welcome you this morning. We're very honored to have a member of the United States Air Force Thunderbird team come and talk to us.
Well, you're a good-looking bunch, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about you. I'd just like you to know that we're really pleased and proud to be here to share this day with you. As you know, we've transitioned to the F-16 airplane now. It weighs approximately 23,500 pounds, and the engine generates 25,000 pounds of thrust. That means the airplane can go straight up and accelerate. I'd like to turn the podium over now to Sergeant Roger Dutch Freiberger.
Dutch Freiberger was a member of Moreno Valley's Air Force Junior ROTC before joining the Air Force.
I never really thought I could say this when I was in school, but it's nice to be back to Moreno Valley High School. I've worked several different kinds of aircraft. I'm what you call a aircraft maintenance specialist. Basically, I'm responsible for the overall general condition of the airplane. We also have other different specialists that are responsible for their special systems.
So each of you are specialists in your own field?
More or less. Mac there, he's responsible for the weapons portion of the system.
Number one, our boss has...
Most of the ROTCs that I'm familiar with try to have field trips to either air bases or military bases, the different ones in the local area. We have flown on aircraft as the 141 flight we did last May. There's been helicopter flights. We saw the inauguration of the new F-18 last year.
So we have a space shuttle, an F-15.
Field trips have included seeing space shuttle landings, visiting other military bases, commercial aviation facilities, or aircraft manufacturing plants. And in model clubs, they get a chance to build what they've seen.
Missiles that they carry spin around when it's the way the model was built.
Shannon has a space shuttle. How about telling these other cadets a little bit about your space shuttle?
The academy comes off and it displays the stage crew quarters. I have 2 scale astronauts, one in his astronaut suit and one in the cockpit. Here is the actual space lab where they conduct their experiments.
Okay, very good. On this particular model, you can stow the arm and close the payload doors?
Yes, I can. I just remove this and put everything back down.
Okay, let's take a vote one more time. How many people think Shannon has the best model here? 1, 2. You guys must have built the B-1, right? The B-1 builders aren't going to vote for Shannon. I guess most of you are aware that tomorrow we'll head out to Nellis Air Force Base and you all will be part of some of the cadets that we're taking on a field trip. But one airplane we will sit in is the, what is this, Shannon?
F-15, sir.
F-15.
Getting a first-hand look at new aircraft and talking with crew members can be quite a treat, too.
All right, there shoots missiles, and then you've got triggers for the 20-millimeter cannon. All of our sights and everything are turning right up there on that glass in front of you.
If you find somebody on radar, lock him up, go outboard on this, and I shoot him with a gun here, or I push this to shoot the missile. A lot of other airplanes, if they want to change things, they've got to do it inside the cockpit. I can just do it on the throttle.
When one joins the junior ROTC, one has to have dedication. There are a lot of hours involved in the various activities that they perform, be it on the drill team, the parade field, in the classroom, their service projects to our community.
We do a number of charitable activities. We have a babysitting assignment once each week for 3 or 4 cadets. We do it on a weekly basis to an agency for unwed mothers. While they are in their weekly group session, our students are babysitting, of course, free of charge, their children.
Oh, this is my truck?
We run an awful lot of fundraising drives. We pay for the tickets for the students and all the cadets for their dining out in the springtime. Last year we had over 300 people, over 100 cadets, and then parents, relatives, and so forth.
Make sure you fill this out also. Sign your signature.
Serving the community is important. This unit has helped run health fairs for several years.
They'll tell you where to go from there.
The junior ROTC at the Vegas Verdes Clinic is probably 90% of our volunteers. They work all stations, they are professionals, and that they know what they're doing.
You're a normal kid. Okay, you step off schedule. And it's 109 and 5, 4, and 4th.
They are my workers. They are my representatives to the public that come into the clinic. They greet them, they explain to them about each of the tests. They help escort people or help them write forms. They are the backbone to my health fair.
You're supposed to be doing something. Don't watch him. You just keep in time of him. If he screws up, you keep doing it. Keep in time, keep your dress.
It's been my experience to find the student that is apprehensive and a little bit worried about the drill, the barking of commands, and the instant response required for good drill, to 2 years later seeing them being some of the most harsh leaders themselves and working their way into it.
You also get a little bit of leadership and self-confidence.
They motivate you and they try to get you to do your very best. I wanted to be a follower, and later on, as I went along, I wanted to learn to be a leader.
It turns out taking something that they're apprehensive about and turning it into something that they're very positive about.
The state champions, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go do it. Steady, steady, steady. Watch your distance, Delgado. Move it back. All right, watch it now. Watch your arms. Watch your swing now. Watch it. Watch your spin. Watch your spin now. Watch it now. You're looking at the rifle. Easy. Don't rush it. You're trying to kill the rifle. Easy. Easy. Watch your spin. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Easy with the toss. Good. Easy. Steady. Slow down. You're coming too fast. Slow down a little bit. Got 5,000 pair of eyes on you tonight. Come on. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Steady. Watch that arm swing. Now, it's a basketball game. You're going to give a good performance, right?
Yes, sir.
Like to go someplace and hear people talk about their drill team's real good, you know, that makes me feel good to be a part of it.
If you're willing to give everything you have, they want you.
What it? Colors.
There's no direct military obligation whatsoever of this program. If you get a 3-year certificate of high school ROTC, you would wind up getting up to a year's credit in the college ROTC program. There are some awards and decorations that would carry over into the program. What it does is put you way ahead of the other people, whether you go into a college ROTC program, whether you go to a military academy, or whether you would wind up enlisting in one of the services.
One of my favorite subjects, as you know.
Cadets also compete for full college ROTC scholarships. One is awarded from every school each year.
Right way. Don't you guys giggle as I get up here. All right. The proper procedure to stand at attention is heels together, toes slightly apart at a 45-degree angle. And here's the important thing. My legs are straight, but I don't have the knees locked up.
What's in it for the student, by and large, is the sense of prestige and honor that they belong to an organization that is recognized in their school and their community as a unit that stands for pride, respect, and integrity.
I wanted to learn how to discipline myself. I wanted to learn what it was like to be motivated and dedicated.
It just helps you to go out and tackle the outside world.
I know I can do it. It was something I had to prove to myself.
Who's the squadron commander?
Ma'am, my squadron commander is Cadet Captain Bartok. Ma'am.
Who's your aerospace science instructor?
Ma'am, my ASI is Lieutenant Colonel Leese. Ma'am.
competitive, championship, mighty, Viking, drill team.
I was on the drill team for the past 3 years, and it's fun. You're in there and you've got those 24 people, and they're just like family to you.
We all know each other, and we're all a big family. It's really fun. It's really neat, because we always win everything.
It's a good feeling when you walk away with every first place trophy that you can get.
One of the big events of the year is the military ball. Cadets do the planning and preparation for it, and parents get involved too.
I enjoy interacting when there's a job to be done and there's people working with me. We're more or less there to dance and have a good time and socialize with one another.
Good evening, Brooke.
Hello there. Lori Calvin. Laura. This is my dad, Cheryl.
Ken Ansel. This is Shelley.
Nice to meet you, Shelley. Hello there. Nice to meet you. Lori Calvin. The staff and the whole squadron of AFJ ROTC here at Mater Dei, we welcome you to our first annual ball.
We're going to be going up and refueling against 4 F-4s out of the 163rd TAC Fighter Group, and their call signs Grizzly 71 to 74. From thermal, which is down in this area, we're going to be hanging a left-hand turn and then descending. We'll be going up to about 23,000 feet till we cross San Luisino Peak out here.
30 Heavy, taxi runway 32. You have to go taxiway 2 due to taxiway 1 and 1 Alpha is closed.
Getting a chance to fly with Air Force crews can be the thrill of the year. This group is on a KC-10 mission, ready to refuel Air Force F-4s.
22 feet, you can bring it all the way back into zero. It's in this position here when the receiver starts to come at us. We clear him in, we're talking to him the whole time. We clear him up to the point he said, you're cleared to contact. You'll see him come in nice and slow.
For 135, sir.
Got to do, he's got to stay in between these two red arrows here, these two, and these two to stay in the limits. How much do you get?
He just took some more now.
Okay.
Yes, there are many advantages to the Air Force Junior ROTC program, and they all add up to a great investment in the future, helping make today's students tomorrow's leaders.
I think you should probably look at the high school program as being a head start.
I would encourage them to become a member of a very prestigious group that would bring them a great deal of joy while they were in high school.
Everything you ever wanted to know about being in the Air Force ROTC circa 1983. Yeah, so that was, I got a batch of films about, related to the Air Force from someone who dumpster dove, and it was a film facility that was getting rid of a bunch of their stuff, and so he found all these films in the dumpster, held on to them for several years, and then eventually was like, I don't need these anymore. And then he pass them on to me. So there you go. That's how we end up with some of the films. All right, what do we got? Let's learn about people who fight pollution, circa mid-70s. Enjoy.
Well, people today think it's easy to be a rubbish man. But to me and a lot of people in the business, it's being a doctor of garbology. The trash must go through. That's my motto, because we have no holidays. I myself work Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, because the rubbish has to go. You leave it sit one day, that's one day's more rubbish you're going to have to pick up off the ground. I'm an independent rubbish man. I do not work for the city. I am not franchised out to anybody. And I run my company the way I feel is efficient.
This is what you want.
5-4, can you copy?
5-4, will you 10-9 the address of the complainant?
114 Roscoe Boulevard.
I'm an air pollution inspector. My job is to uncover sources of air pollution, control it where possible, and eliminate it if I can. And that's a big job. That's why I like it. Well, I came from a rural town in Texas. The air smelled like pine needles. There's a lot of pine trees in my part of Texas. And I miss the smell quite a bit. I miss the smells of spring, the smells of autumn, as well as the smells of summer. And I would imagine the children all born here, they don't miss it because they never had it.
Bottles is my business. Yeah, years before ecology became the thing to do, I was recycling bottles, not because we was looking for any glory. To me, it was just the thing to do to keep garbage from piling up. A few years ago, people used to laugh at me when I told them that I made new bottles out of old bottles. But they don't laugh at me anymore.
Sometimes a trash bin will weigh only 1,000 pounds, up to a ton sometimes. It's like a challenge, because you have to learn how to lift something in order not to damage your body. It's better training than going out on the football field and training with the players. So many of my relatives are in the rubbish business. It's actually hard to just pick them all up at one time and think about it. My grandfather, back when he first came to this country, he started up in the rubbish business with just a horse and buggy. And then my uncles did the same thing. Eventually, it was just handed down. When my father got out of the service, he went into the rubbish business because this was his idea and this is what he knew. Ever since I was able to walk and talk, I always wanted to get out there and do what he was doing. I just loved to get out there and work. all the rubbish men are like one big group. And like you can go to every rubbish company you can find and they'll help you because they really stick together. They do.
I can always call you and tell you that when you go up there, you come right by and get it, see?
Okay. I'll take care of it. You get it set up for me, and we got a deal.
I'll get it set up for you.
Okay, because I'll take the contract along with this one, okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
All righty.
All right.
Have a nice day now.
Okay, take care, huh?
Have to.
All right.
I go to smoke school to train my eyes to look at smoke to tell whether it's violating the law or not. Until you get the hang of it, smoke just looks like smoke. That's why the smoke school test is so tough.
When I want you to record on your paper, I'll ring the bell. Begin reading right now. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Passing smoke school means I can testify in court against polluters. But I gotta catch them first. Item 5-4.
Item 5-4.
5-4, Code 6, 4100 Salt Lake Avenue, Cudahy.
Item 5-4. Code 6.
The stack climbers take samplings from the smokestacks so they can be later analyzed in the laboratory. This helps the company that's guilty to change its processes so it can stop polluting.
Want to try one on this side? Piling up pretty heavy up there.
Yeah, I think so.
When I first started working around the furnaces, they kind of scared me. I thought maybe one false move and I'd be made into a bottle. After being around the furnaces for so many years, I feel right at home around them. If you're working around furnaces, you become part of that furnace. They're like children to you. You look at them, you take care of them, you cuddle them. Actually, there's more truth in that in poetry, too.
The kids got together, including my own, decided to clean up the neighborhood. I came along to watch things and help them out any way I could.
Everybody's picking up the gun. No more trash.
These are bottles. These are all bottles? Yeah.
I take the broken bottles and deliver them to the furnaces. When the glass is just the right temperature, I give it to the machines. And when the machines take over, that's sort of like the 4th of July. I made over 1 million bottles today. It was one of our slower days, but it's not bad.
When it's a good day and everything's going right for you out there, you seem to pick up the rhythm and you're on top of the world. In these big apartments, the trash bins get so full, I have to get up there and jump on them, reload them, and get the janitors to give me a hand pushing them out. People are just throwing useful things in the trash bin and just forgetting about them. And that's pollution. Well, I can go out in a day on my route and I can learn a lot about people by just their trash they dispose of. Like material and stuff they didn't use, food they didn't eat, they just dispose of it and they don't give it a second thought. It just breaks my heart to see what people throw away. Every day I find something new, something very curious and interesting.
A lot of people seem to think that the machines made the bottles, but we've kind of like to feel that we made them ourselves. I get kind of a kick, pick up the bottles and take a look on the bottom to see if that's one of them that I made. Go along and take a look and tip it over to see if old Plant 23's on the bottom.
Having any problems with this number 7 line?
I look upon myself as being more of a salesman than a cop, really.
You really do a good job. Right on the money.
I'm trying to sell an idea of let's do something about the pollution in our air.
This is your number 6. How did it run on the test when you put some cans in it?
Good.
Good. Good. Quite anxious to see that number 6. Had a little problems with it. Getting it all squared away.
I hope in the not too distant future there won't be any need for people that hold jobs like I got. You may say I'm just working myself out of a job. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as something that needs to be done, and it has to be done now. You sick? My children may be surprised to know they were born in a very, very beautiful valley, and we're just hoping that the air will get clean enough someday they'll be able to see it. Don't hurt no more?
I'm not depressed over the whole thing. It's gonna take determination. We're getting there.
Let's learn some new frontiers of medicine. Probably 70, 80 years ago. Actually, wait a minute. Let me see if I've actually shown this film. No, I haven't. All right. Here we go. Enjoy.
A friendly and familiar figure throughout America is the family doctor, making his appointed rounds. Keeping vigil over the health of his community, the family doctor is a man on whose broad medical knowledge most citizens must rely. Today, American doctors, many with invaluable wartime experience, offer a medical service which, at its best, is second to none in the world.
I'm going to give you something new that we use with good results in the Navy. You'll be all right in a few days.
Indispensable to every physician are the remarkable new medicines recently developed, the sulfa drugs, and such other antibiotics as penicillin and streptomycin. These and many other new discoveries are a vital part of the modern sciences taught student physicians in the nation's 70 medical schools. Traditional since Hippocrates and Galen is teaching by clinical example, for medicine has always been an art handed down from master to pupil. And today, medical education is distinguished by its emphasis on direct experience. The young student follows through on individual cases guided by his experienced elders. Thus, upon graduation, he begins his career better equipped than any doctor in history. So great has been the progress of American medicine that physicians the world over now come to the United States to observe and learn, reversing the old custom of American doctors going to Europe. Techniques developed over the years have produced a fuller understanding of blood characteristics. New tests detect the mysterious Rh blood factor, which in the past has meant death to many babies. Only recently have transfusionists learned to replace almost completely Rh positive blood with Rh negative, an operation that saves many lives. A great discovery of medical technology is the new artificial kidney, which temporarily does the work of those that are diseased, saving many a patient whose own kidneys are unable to function. Among today's miracles of surgery are the new operations on the brain, combining the surgeon's skill with delicate scientific apparatus. Through such operations, inconceivable 10 years ago, the physical and mental health of many patients is being restored. Today, with preventive medicine assuming a new importance, knowledge gained from experiments in nutrition is being applied to promote well-being and to build up resistance to disease. Observing the reaction of laboratory rats to high-quality diets, Dr. Henry Sherman of Columbia University concludes that human lives may be lengthened by 10% if nutrition in early years is carefully planned. At Harvard, this knowledge is being put into practice by Dr. Frederick Stair. Among Dr. Stair's projects is an outstanding program in the schools of Newton, Massachusetts, where by scientific demonstration he is teaching children how to choose and prepare the right foods. By watching their own growth, the children learn what good nutrition can do. Thus, through better feeding, tomorrow's citizens can achieve sounder minds and bodies than ever before. Another trend in today's medicine is group practice, where a number of physicians sharing the same quarters pool their talents in a single medical service. An example of one type of group practice is Boston's famed Leahy Clinic, founded by Dr. Frank Leahy, one of America's noted surgeons. In cases difficult to diagnose, there is considerable advantage in a medical system where specialists may consult with specialists within the same organization. Sharing the same facilities and staff enables doctors to offer better and more comprehensive service to their patients at lower cost. One of the great advances in modern medicine has been the development of psychiatry. Organizations such as the New York Psychoanalytic Institute have helped gain general acceptance for theories considered radical when first advanced some 50 years ago by Dr. Sigmund Freud. The relationship between childhood frustrations and disturbed adult behavior has been clearly traced by such authorities as Dr. Rene Spitz of New York.
Distressing experiences in childhood may set up patterns which in later life will produce mental conflicts. Such conflicts lead to the same feeling of insecurity which was felt as a child. When such conflicts paralyze the individual, preventing him from acting freely, he is said to have a neurosis. Let us see how a neurosis develops. Here is a baby, happy in its mother's love. It feels secure even when with strangers, as you see. Now, note the contrast. This is the same child after it had been deprived of its mother for 3 months. As you see, its expression is mask-like, similar to that of an adult suffering from depression. Its emotional reactions may have been permanently impaired by this early experience of frustration, and a serious conflict may develop on this basis, which could affect its whole adult life.
By far the greatest number of deaths in the United States today is chargeable to heart disease, which, increasing steadily over the past quarter century, now claims over 500,000 victims each year. To a public becoming increasingly health conscious, the annual figures on heart disease seem grave cause for alarm. But heart specialists, such as New York Hospital's Dr. Harold J. Stewart, offer some reassurance.
People should not be too excited about the rising death rate of heart diseases. People nowadays are living longer, and there are older hearts. Every doctor has patients who have been frightened by newspaper publicity and by over-anxious friends into thinking they have heart disease. More often, they are the victims not of heart disease, but of imagination.
Physicians point out that with scientific advances steadily lowering the death rate from other diseases, thousands who would once have died at an early age now live to advanced years to succumb eventually to heart disease. With the rise in death rate from heart ailments, doctors intensified their studies and evolved a new field of specialization in cardiovascular disease, the study and treatment of the heart and blood vessels. Gains in knowledge have enabled the doctor to treat his patients according to the origin and nature of their cardiovascular disorder. Almost 10% of all patients are suffering from hearts that have been attacked by syphilis. Another 35 to 40% are victims of rheumatic heart disease. Those hearts which have begun to degenerate with the passing of years due to hardening of the arteries and high blood pressure make up another 45%. Doctors now possess scientific aids to detect and classify heart abnormalities. Under the fluoroscope, the heart can be observed in motion. Through X-ray photographs revealing the heart's size and shape, defects, once a matter of conjecture, can frequently be ascertained. Another instrument of great value to heart specialists is the electrocardiograph. Minute electrical currents generated from within the heart trace a record from which the physician can make a diagnosis. Reassuring to every doctor is the regular throb of the healthy human heart. But a stern warning signal is the tumult of the defective heart. A typical case of cardiac trouble is that of Charlie Abbott, who at 7 was believed to have growing pains. Such aches and pains may mean rheumatic fever, so devastating to young hearts. When he was 12, Charlie found that he hadn't the physical stamina to keep up with the other boys. Later in life, after he had been working for a while at a strenuous job, something happened.
What's the matter? I don't know. Guess I'm all in. You better see a doctor.
Today, Charlie Abbott knows that his childhood growing pains were rheumatic fever, and from now on, he must take things easy. Rheumatic fever victims are not beyond help, but there are in existence all too few up-to-date institutions where young convalescents can be helped to recover or to adjust their lives to the limitations imposed by permanently damaged hearts. Complementing the clinical care of patients is the intensive work carried on in the nation's laboratories, where scientists are diligently seeking the basic causes of heart disease. At famed Rockefeller Institute in New York, Dr. Homer Swift spent years trying to solve the riddle of rheumatic fever. At other centers, pathologists, such as Dr. Harry Goldblatt, have been seeking the cause of high blood pressure. The Yale Medical School's former dean, Dr. Milton Winternitz, did important work in studying hardening of the arteries, a major cause of heart disease. Another formidable disease is tuberculosis. Private contributions have helped to educate the public to its dangers, bringing about the establishment of government-financed hospitals. Adequate medical attention, better hygiene, and improved treatment have decreased the mortality rate from this disease since 1900 by more than 75%. The annual March of Dimes has dramatized the dangers of dread poliomyelitis, which strikes mainly at the young. Of those attacked by this disease, 25,000 in a bad year, some 20% may be crippled for life, and another 25% may be left with minor handicaps. How many have cancer today in the U.S., no man knows, but it kills over 170,000 people a year. Scientists have discovered that in this disease, body cells, once normal, run wild and multiply crazily. What causes this is one of the riddles men puzzle over in their laboratories through a lifetime. Some men, like Dr. James B. Murphy of New York, have sought the answer in the components of cells. Experiments on animals in whom cancer has been artificially induced yield some information. Valuable observations on the causes and transmission of cancer have been made by such scientists as Maud Sly of Chicago and Dr. Clarence Little of Bar Harbor. At Columbia University, Dr. Francis Carter Wood long headed an institution concentrating on the treatment of cancer. But progress is slow and costly, and great amounts of money are needed to build upon the groundwork already laid. New scientific weapons have been brought in to help. Deep X-ray, which penetrates to the seat of the ailment. Radium, a mineral which shoots a barrage of electronic bullets aimed at disintegrating the malignant growth. Hospitals are now pioneering in isotopes, byproducts of the atomic age. One of these, radioactive iodine, gives hope of successfully attacking cancer of the thyroid. In New York's Memorial Hospital, the experimental work of scientists is coordinated with clinical experience and new surgical techniques in an attempt to isolate and root out the causes of cancer. A beginning has been made, and the number of cured cases of cancer increases yearly as the public learns the necessity for early detection and treatment of the disease. Emphasis is laid on periodic checkups for the whole family, for if cancer can be caught at an early stage, it can be treated more rapidly and effectively, and often completely cured. Many hospitals are opening cancer clinics staffed by specialists to provide treatment for everyone at low cost. Slowly, the mystery of this strange disease is being penetrated to reveal more and more of its origins and of the factors which may cause it to spread uncontrollably through the human body. Thus, the specialist and the research scientist and the family doctor are together gaining ground in their unremitting war against disease, giving to men new hope of relief from pain and disability, and of a long span of life to be lived in health and strength and social usefulness.
Sorry. I was rushing out of the bathroom. I was like, oh no, the film's ending. Anyways, thanks for joining us today. As always, it's great to see your comments and to share films like this with you. We had a variety of different kind of longish films today, but each of them interesting in their own right, especially all the people who had heart problems due to syphilis in that last film. It's kind of crazy, but it also talks about how epidemic syphilis was at the time. So anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in today. As always, we will see you tomorrow, and take care.